Tonight marks 1 year in a tragic case out of Kansas City North.
1 year ago tonight was the last time baby Lisa Irwin was seen inside her Northland home.
KCTV5's Banyan Lee is live from the home. And Banyan, you talked to a retired detective about what investigators working this case are facing as this anniversary approaches, right?
That's right. Let me first set the scene for you. 1 year later, Deborah Bradley and Jeremy Irwin still live in their home here off North Lister in the Northland with their two sons. You can see they're getting ready for tonight's vigil. 1 year after Lisa, the couple's 11-month-old, went missing from her room, detectives have not moved closer to solving this case. A frustrating situation one retired KCPD sergeant can relate to.
I feel for them because I've been there. I've gone through that, and I know how frustrating that can be. And
Dave Bernard retired from the KCPD weeks before Lisa Irwin went missing, but he's no rookie when it comes to high-profile, long-term investigations.
You know, when it's a high-profile case, you're under the microscope. Everything you do and say is watched. It's picked apart. It's analyzed.
That's exactly what happened to Bernard when he supervised a squad of detectives in the Precious Doe case in 2001, a case involving a young girl that took 4 years to crack.
You know, usually time is your enemy. When you start an investigation like that, you know, the first few hours are critical because you got people setting alibis, they're destroying evidence.
While 1 year has come and gone in Lisa's disappearance, Bernard says experienced detectives understand time lapse can also help solve a case.
Sometimes time can be an ally because the people that you talk to at the time may have allegiances to each other, and they're not going to talk. But over time, you know, allegiances break up, alliances crumble, and sometimes people are willing to talk more freely after that's happened.
Bernard has never worked a minute on the baby Lisa case, but he says there is good reason to talk to Deborah, Lisa's mom. A sit-down interview the KCPD says Deborah has not agreed to do again since the first weeks of the 11-month-old's disappearance.
Because usually, as a general rule, the younger the victim, the suspect or the perpetrator lies close in, maybe the mother's boyfriend, something of that nature, but close in, because children are protected by their parents, and they don't usually allow them to have contact with complete strangers.
Now back out here live at the family's home, Deborah and Jeremy's attorney, John Paserno, sat down with me and explains why that interview hasn't happened. 1 year later, we'll have that at 5 and 6, but I can tell you 1 year later, the family's tactic with the media hasn't seemed to change. Deborah told me earlier she'll be granting interviews to certain reporters and not to others. Why, I asked her, she said it's a personal choice. Reporting live, Banyan Lee, back to you.
Banyan, thank you. The TIPS hotline is still offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to Lisa Irwin. That's in addition to a family benefactor who's offering a $100,000 reward. Crime Stoppers says it has received more than 50 tips in the past few weeks, 10 of those substantial enough to forward to detectives.
We received many calls from so-called psychics or people who had a feeling about things. We would really like to get more substantial information. In other words, somebody that actually has information in regards to what happened to baby Lisa, where she might be.
There is a vigil at the Irwin home at about 6:30 tonight, and we will carry that vigil online at KCTV5.com, as well as bring you coverage tonight on KCTV5 News at both 9 and 10.
Here's the timeline of the events that have unfolded in this case so far. Baby Lisa was last seen on the evening of October 3rd, 2011. Her family reported her missing the next morning, and an Amber Alert was issued. On October 6th, the family made a public plea for someone to come forward with information. On October 11th, private security consultant Bill Stanton was hired using money from an anonymous donation. 3 days later, Stanton announced there would now be a $100,000 reward in the case. On October 17th, high-profile lawyer Joe Tacopina announced he was representing the family. 2 days later, police searched the home again using cadaver dogs. According to court documents, the dogs got a hit in the parents' bedroom. Less than a month later would be baby Lisa's first birthday on November 11th, with still no sign of the blue-eyed baby. Tomorrow is the a 1 year mark since baby Lisa was reported missing. She's still considered missing.
An area mom has